Hello, everybody. We're back with another live stream.
Hi.
Surprise!
We don't give warnings. We go like 5 seconds till our showtime. Boom. We're done. We're in. Ha.
I know. Here we are.
You know, most people go, oh, in 30 minutes this or that. No timer,
It's just
no
like,
nothing, no theme song, nothing.
It's like, boom. Let's just do it, you know?
Yep.
I noticed that when like I plan a live stream, I get so much more nervous
Yeah.
to when like I just do it like randomly, like spontaneously. And I'm like, what is the difference between now and then? Like
You haven't overthinked it. That's why. You haven't overthought it, should I say.
Exactly. Well, hey everyone, we're back with another live stream. Duh, because here we are. We are basically, in the studio again. Going to have some chats with Nicky, my partner, and we're going to be working on some, obviously, album stuff as well. I'm going to be putting together my CDs that I'm creating. So I've got 10 of these CDs that I need to put together and, gonna see. I'm a bit nervous about doing them because I'm like, I've only got 10 books printed, and if I fuck one up with the writing, I'm gonna be so devo.
It's okay.
Look, I'm just being honest, okay? I heard a voice saying, oh, you know, if you think like that, it's going to happen. Like, okay, just feel my fear. Feel my fear.
Feel your fear.
So, yeah, but going to be working on some of this. Also, what's been happening? Okay, so I put out a second episode of my audio series called The Cul-de-sac Era. And it's a part of my audio series that I've created, which is called actually Behind the Arcadia Diaries. Well, not behind, but the Arcadia Diaries Letters to My Younger Self. So I've got episode 2 out at the moment. And so Nicky's going to be asking me some questions about episode 2. We're going to go a little bit deeper into the episode and share some stories, I think, and
get to know Babe a bit more.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to be doing in this stream. I'm going to be working on my CDs. Nicky's going to be asking questions. We're going to be having a bit of a yarn. And basically, before we get started, though, I suppose I'd like to give a little bit of an update on what's been happening. So we've had some progress with the collectible boxes. Oh, my gosh, I forgot to bring one in to show.
Which colour you want me to bring in?
Bring in the any color. Just surprise me.
Not my sister's colour because she might watch.
So we've made some progress with the collectible boxes, which is I'm really happy about. So last time we were on stream, we were painting the boxes. And before that, we sealed the boxes. So we did a live stream where I was sealing the boxes, and then we came on and we painted the boxes, but we kind of failed those boxes, the first 3 that we painted, because the paint was basically an acrylic paint that was too thick. So we couldn't really slide the boxes in and out. So we decided to come up with she's back. So we decided to paint the boxes using a different technique. And the technique that we chose was like a staining technique. So we use paint to stain the boxes, and this is the result. Yes, I love the color that you chose. So this is the result of staining the boxes. It's really beautiful. You can still see like the character of the wood, and I don't know, it's nice and thin. It's thinly coated, so you can slide this in and out still. And we did the gold trimming around the inside. So yes, progress on the boxes. And we did them all sorts of different colors. So we also have a teal color. which is, just I really like this like staining technique with painting these boxes, and we have this like beautiful royal purple. This one's going to be for my mum. And I can say that because she's never going to watch this live stream like before I give it to her. So this one's going to be for my mum because her favorite color is purple. And guess what my favorite color is? Ta-da! Purple. So I didn't know that.
Mine was purple at 3 and then I changed it.
Yeah, I didn't know that I took after my mum with being purple her favorite color. So
yeah, you only found out when we went last time to Cairns and she said, oh, my favorite color's purple.
Yeah, because we bought her this like water bottle, this steel water bottle, stainless steel, and it was a nice like kind of teal color. And then she was like, oh, I love it. I love it.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, lovely. But I wish I had a purple one.
And I said, oh, there was no purple because there was no purple.
Yeah,
She goes,
yeah.
oh, that's okay. That's okay. I love this color too.
Yeah, so basically we've painted the boxes now. We've varnished them. They're all done pretty much.
Some of these colors are varnished and some of those are the other 5 that we need to varnish.
Yeah, so we've varnished half of them so far and the other half are going to varnish.
Speaking of which, I've run out of matte to varnish, yeah.
So we have to go get some more of that. And it's also a bit it's a bit hard to varnish in a small apartment because we get kind of like, what do you call it?
The fumes.
The fumes. We get fumed out. So, yeah, we have to really choose our times to varnish. But we're excited. We've made some progress and we're really happy with the paint job on the boxes. So that's a positive thing, moving in the right direction.
The ingredients are inside. Yay!
Yeah, so after we finish all the boxes, we're going to be obviously finalizing the box. We've got to print out all the photos that go in the photo frame. Then we're going to do something special to the inside of the box, and then we're going to add all of the goodies. So, yeah, I'm really excited to have gotten this far, with the boxes. So that's super exciting. What else has been happening? If you haven't yet seen, I have put out a live performance of my latest release, Growing Up Was Painful. I mean, I shared my whole process of putting together that performance with some live streams. So that video finally got made and went out last night, which I'm very excited about. The track is also made available on my Subvert to download, and I'll be releasing that live version performance on streaming as well in a couple of weeks or a week's time or something. So, yeah, very excited to have gotten that done. What else have we been up to? Or what else?
You got to also remind them. So out of the 10 boxes, 8 have been reserved. So there's 2 left, folks. So if you want one, you got to let us know.
Yes, so 8 of the boxes have been snapped up, which is really cool. 2 of them are going to me and her. We need to be included in that. So we have 2 boxes left. So if anyone would like a collectible CD box with my album, my EP, and some other goodies, feel free to let me know in a comment, reach out to me via DMs, whatever you want. Just let me know. I'm giving them away freely, or you're more than welcome to leave a donation if you feel called to. And if you get the box and you're like, wow, I love this, and you can share a little bit of a donation if you want. But otherwise, I'm giving them away for free. This is something that I wanted to do, and I'm excited that I'm finally doing it.
Yay! Don't forget, everyone, we've got some more surprises coming up later on, throughout the year and stuff like that. So,
oh yeah.
So,
what are the surprises? I don't know what they are. I've forgotten.
You're going to have another release, and we've got some more special boxes we're going to be doing. And
yes,
there's going to be
I've got a lot more songs on the way, everyone. Like, my album is probably going to be like 12 plus songs. So, yeah, I've got lots more songs that I'm working on at the moment, which I might share on a live stream in terms of putting them together and things like that. So, more songs.
More episodes coming.
More
for your
episodes coming for the audio series. Lots going on. And yeah, I'm just like kind of really excited to be sharing my journey again as an artist. So that's really cool.
Yay.
Yay. Is there anything else that I've missed that you want to add before we get going? I'm going to drink some water because my stomach keeps on rumbling. Hold on.
I forgot my water. It's alright. It's only an hour or so.
Mm-hmm. Let's
do
also
this.
just check that the stream is live. That would be good. Hey.
Go on then.
Go on then. Let's just have a little squizzy. Oh, yes. That photo always comes up. I got to try and think of another photo because
It's go in it though. Does it show?
yeah, it shows us. Well, let's have a look, hey?
Yep.
There it is. What's this? Oh, that's the emojis. Cool.
It says there's one person watching.
That's us.
Oh yeah. Lol.
That's
But it
funny.
hasn't come up there yet in the analytics.
No, I'll close that.
Okay.
It's all good. Okay, well,
Shall we start going into the episode?
yeah, let's talk about episode 2 of my audio series.
Did you want us to play it for them in live before we talk about it, or just
That's
jump
a good
straight in it?
idea.
Because
Good
they might have not
idea,
known
good
about it, and now they're
idea.
listening and they want to hear it first.
Okay, well,
It only goes for 2-3 minutes.
are we going to play the whole thing or just like snippets related to each questions? Because otherwise,
That's
think-
totally up to you. Whatever you want to do.
I
This
want
is us
to.
flying.
I would like to leave the audio series on Patreon. Like if people want, if you want to hear it and you are interested in going deeper into the stories behind my latest music, then head to Patreon, listen to the episode, and then you'll get an idea of what we're talking about here.
And you've made Patreon like free to join
Yeah.
kind of thing. So it's not like a Patreon exclusive to subscribers, you know?
Yeah. So it's basically free to join. I mean, everything I do on my artist journey is for fucking free. So like everything on my Patreon's available for free. My music is available for free. Obviously, I've made it possible for people to donate and share their appreciation. But yeah, I'm giving basically everything I create on my artist journey away freely. So there's no cost in signing up to my Patreon other than signing up with your email, obviously. But yeah, it's all free.
Cool. All right.
Cool.
So
All right.
just
take
to
it
give
away.
people a rundown. So episode 1 was you in Kununurra as a child, you know, playing and really connecting to friends, earth, neighbors, family, very like family orientated in Kununurra.
Mm-hmm.
We got to share a little bit about your pop and his music that he loves.
Mm-hmm.
With the speaker that I can't remember his name now,
Jimmy Swaggart. That was episode 1, yeah.
And so now we're in episode 2, where you have now officially moved from Kununurra
Mm-hmm.
to Perth.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay, so now you're about 13 years old.
Mm-hmm. I'm 12 going on 13.
12 going on
but
13.
Yes, in that year.
And
I was 13.
did you fly or drive down to Perth?
We flew.
Okay, so you flew down from Kununurra down to Perth.
Yes.
And what do you remember that moment when you flew from Kununurra to Perth? You got off the plane. What's the first thing that like hit you?
Yeah, well, I mean, what was I feeling? I did not want to leave. Like, you know, I had my whole life in Kununurra. My school, I went to the same school all throughout my primary school years. And yeah, I just remember I really did not want to move to Perth, like at all. So that's what I was kind of feeling. And one thing that I do remember on the way to Perth is in the airplane, my mum noticed, this is so random. This is such a, not even kind of related to the audio series, but it's a random memory that I have of the flight to Perth is my mum noticed that I had shaved a patch on my knee. On my hair. I was like 12 and I just remember her going berserk. Like she was so upset that I shaved my knee because I was getting to the age where your hairs you go really thick, you know, like as you go into puberty, your leg hairs go really thick, and I had really hairy legs. I'm a hairy person, like, you know, by genetics, because I'm half Greek, half Aboriginal. I just very, very hairy child. Like my arms were really hairy. I had a mustache. You know, I had facial hair. Like I was just a very hairy kid. Hairy stomach, hairy back, you know, just hair everywhere. It's like, what the fuck? So was at the age where I was like, oh, I'm not liking these like big hairs on my kneecap, you know? So I just shaved a patch there. I didn't shave the whole leg, just a patch.
She noticed it already.
I know. And she just like went off her face, eh? And that's just some of the things that I put up with as a kid. Like, you know, it's my body, mum. Like, that's what I would say to my mum now. I can do what I want.
Okay.
I don't know if I answered your question. What was your question again?
So what was the first thing that you saw, the moment like you felt like you got off the airplane, you're seeing different people, different environment, different, so what, like, were you stunned?
Gosh.
Were you?
I went way off topic, didn't I?
It's okay. It's funny.
Yeah. So, you know, to be honest, I don't remember like getting to Perth, the time that we moved. I don't remember that. I really don't remember what it was like, what we were doing, what was happening. I remember the first time though that I ever went to Perth, which was a year before, the Christmas before we went there for a holiday. So I remember that time.
Okay. Give me a little bit of that detail.
Well, we got there, you know, we're in Armadale with my stepfather and we're in his house, and I just remember the house like being sort of it was newly built, so it was kind of like a bit empty.
Yeah.
And it was like filled with all this like secondhand furniture, and the walls weren't even painted.
Whoa.
Like it was like there wasn't even proper like carpet or tiles or tiling on the floor, so it was still the concrete.
Wow.
And he had this like kind of like old steel frame bed in the room that I was sleeping in, with this, you know, so everything was like kind of secondhand, like, but that's who my stepdad was. Like he's like, okay, I'm willing to spend the money on building this house.
Yeah.
But fuck the painting and the floors, and that'll all come later. You know what I mean? Like that's, I guess, like to him that wasn't really important. Gotcha. What was important was just making sure the house was built, you know, and he's like building a patio outside with a big like roof deck, you know, but the inside didn't matter to him. It was like, I'll get to that when I get to that. So I guess he had like a budget, you know?
Yeah. And then it was like kind of like, you know, weekend little jobs, you know, I'll do the walls in a month or so, and then I'll start getting the tiles together, and I'll put the tiles down.
But actually, funnily enough, it wasn't until years later that he actually did all of that stuff. Wow. He took years to do it. For a long time, you know, it was just like scraps of carpet like sort of placed on the concrete in the room, and it was just
cold.
Yeah, it was just like kind of really bare and cold and empty inside, you know?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Very interesting. See, I love asking questions. I learn things. Okay. And then, okay.
Yeah, so.
And so.
But then I remembered like I woke up and it was exciting to be in Perth because I'd never been there before.
Yeah.
It was the first time I'd ever been to a big city.
Yeah.
Because I lived in Kununurra all my life, and the biggest kind of town I ever experienced was Darwin and Cairns, you know, like
And we're talking about Darwin and Cairns in
Queensland. So
years.
oh, like
In the 80s?
like yeah, so 80s, 90s I was always back and forth from Darwin and Cairns.
Yeah, right. Very interesting.
And then like we did go for a holiday I was always back and forth between Darwin and Kununurra, and then we went for a holiday in Cairns in like I think the Christmas of 1989 to spend time with my great grandmother who was, you know, getting on, and she ended up passing that following year. So but I remember that was, you know, I'd never experienced Perth before, so I was very excited and it was all new to me, and getting there was like actually summer but cold for me, like had a cool like little tinge in the air. And I remember getting up and then like, you know, there was like breakfast stuff, and you know, like I woke up and mum's like, you want to have some like, you know, breakfast, which was bacon and eggs back then, and juice. And I remember the specifics of what I ate on the first morning I woke up in Perth.
Oh my God.
So I had that brekkie, and it was just like, it was, like a really eye-opening experience for a little country bush girl to be in that city, you know?
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
And so that was the first ever time you went to Perth, right?
That was the first ever time I went to Perth, and I believe that was in like, it must have been, I don't remember. I wanted to say Christmas of, yes. So it was in Christmas of 1990. So the year before, 1989, we were in Cairns, Atherton, seeing my great-grandmother. The year after, in 1990, we were in Perth for Christmas.
Crazy.
Like for a holiday, on the school holidays, you know, at that time.
Crazy.
So while you ask me questions, I'm just going to like start doing this stuff.
Okay, so now you're in Perth.
Yes.
And your first thoughts when you first arrived in Perth, I remember you saying stuff like it was very different because the people in Perth are different.
Yes.
So give me a little bit of detail on like that info, because
okay, well, the difference between
and
like
what you've grown up around, you know.
Yeah, so I grew up in a country town with not very many people, and everyone knew everyone. So even if you didn't know anyone, or even if you didn't know everyone, you still said hi to people down the street. You know, there was that community feeling. In Perth, in big cities, you just don't do that, and I never knew that. Like, moving to Perth was a culture shock in that way, because everyone doesn't look at everyone in the eye to say hello when you walk past them. So that was a shock to begin with. I was like, whoa, people are different here. Like, they don't seem as friendly, you know? So that was a big culture shock. And even like, you know, being First Nations. Hey, what's up, JFK Productions? Let's say hello to him.
Hello.
Hey, welcome. Yeah, so, yeah, basically, you know, being First Nations, my mum's Aboriginal, my whole, like, lineage is, you know, we're Aboriginal. So, you know, I always grew up with that identity as well. Like, I grew up with, you know, that I knew that I was First Nations and I was, you know, Aboriginal. But when I moved to Perth, I noticed that other Aboriginals from that city area didn't recognize me as being Aboriginal and were not that friendly to me. So that was very interesting as well. And I really struggled with that, because I just felt this sense of loss of, I just felt this loneliness, this like sense of being invisible, you know, not really feeling like I fit in or belonged anywhere. Because then I was living with my mum and my stepdad, who is a Dutch man. And, you know, like his family, so lovely, beautiful people, and so warm and welcoming. But also I just wasn't, like, I did not have that established connection with them, you know, like I did with my Aboriginal family. So again, I felt kind of like a fish out of water, you know. I just felt like I didn't quite fit in, but I didn't know that at the time. That's what I felt. I just felt like, oh, this is, you know, I'm so used to being around all my family and everyone that I grew up with and just knew me, and here I am having, you know, as a 13-year-old, like in this new world, you know, not really feeling, like just feeling so awkward, feeling so awkward and alone and like
disconnected, kind of like you can't connect now with your First Nations people, and then you can't connect with the, you know, white society that is around, so you're like kind of stuck in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. So I felt really disconnected. I felt disconnected from my you know, obviously Indigenous family that I left behind. A lot of, like, I missed them so much, you know. And then I just felt this disconnection to, you know, the new environment that I was in, because I so much wanted to be back, you know, in Kununurra. So it's just like, yeah.
And Jay's saying there, Jamaica would be the opposite. We're great, like we've always known you. So they would be so friendly. They're all connected. They all get each other. They're cool. That's really cool. Jamaica, that's cool. And and he said, like you needed to put up a bat signal to find your circle.
Like we're in Perth, a bat signal. What's that? I don't know what that is. What do you mean? Do you know what he means? Like,
it's like a sign to like find the right people, you know, like, yeah.
When I was in Perth. Yeah, totally.
You're not going to find them. It's not easy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's like I needed to like stamp on my forehead, like, I'm one of you guys. I'm one of you, you know, like before they would even see me as like one of them. But yeah, it's just a different kettle of fish. City blackfellas to country blackfellas, and I really felt that. Like, I felt like, I guess looking back, it was such a rejection of my identity and who I was. So all of a sudden, like, this feeling, what is going on? Why we got this happening? I don't know. So yeah, all of a sudden, like, what was I saying? So like, the yellow signal. Yeah, so like I felt like all of this stability that I had was not there anymore. And I felt this awkwardness, this uneasiness, this like a stripping away of everything I'd ever known, you know, getting to this new place. I all of a sudden felt like, oh, I don't fit in with the black fellas here, but I also don't fit in with the white fellas. Like, you know what I mean? So, because, you know, I would have that, I mean, moving to Perth was the first time I ever heard a derogatory, like, slang towards Aboriginal people.
Wow.
Even from, you know, my stepfather's family.
Wow.
You know, and they're young kids are like me, so they didn't really understand or know, or maybe they did, I don't know. But, you know, I would hear derogatory slang terms about Aboriginals from them. And there would be little things that I would do. Like, for example, we had this saying in Blackfella where we go, oh, you know, if you want to call out to that person, we go, sing out to them, sing out, you know? So I would be talking like that. I'd be like, sing out. And then my step cousins would be like, ha ha ha, sing out, what's that? Like, you know?
Yeah, they don't get it.
Like,
la di da di da.
yeah. La 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 la. Like, that's exactly what she did, you know? So I'd be talking in this way and then it'd be getting ridiculed. So I'd be like, oh, I didn't know that that's
Not,
you know,
normal.
not normal. Like, so, you know, getting mocked for how I'm talking made me question and then modify myself to fit into that world, you know. So I'd stop saying sing out because I thought, oh, that's gonna get me ridiculed, mocked.
That's really interesting because that's like I always wondered, like, you know, when I first met you and heard you and talked to you and all that, you always had the just normal Australian accent, you know? Like,
oh my gosh, I have to show you this.
Okay,
Sorry.
Okay.
Look. Is the practically the same color.
Yeah, it is.
I love
Perfect.
it. I love it. We're going to do it with this color.
It was basically, it's funny because, like, I always go, oh, yeah, like, because you go in and out of that accent, you know? Like, you don't hold on to it like some people. And that's really fascinating because, like, I try to get rid of my Western Sydney accent and I can't. And I never knew it was different or anything until I've been, you know, told that it's different later on, you know, and it was too late, you know, whereas yours adjusted because you got it, they basically hammered it out of you quite early, which is very fascinating because now it explains why you have kind of removed that element of your natural, how you originally spoke.
Yeah, so how I originally spoke was basically modified because of that initial ridicule of how I was talking, what things that I would say that would get laughed at or mocked. So I started to modify my way of speaking. So hence, this is how I speak now, you know? Like, I started to modify my accent, my speech, just to fit into that white world, you know?
Yeah, that's so fascinating. Hello, yes.
Yeah.
I am the second person, the co-host / side person.
Yes, this is my partner JFK. This is my partner Nicky, and today I'm working on some like album, my album project. I'm working on my album project today. So I'm putting together my CDs and I'm writing also on the CDs like the limited edition number, which I'm very nervous about because I've only got 10. So if I fuck it up, I'm in trouble. But yes, so working on putting together my CDs and my albums, and Nicky's asking me questions about my latest episode on my Patreon from my audio series. I've been releasing an audio series on my Patreon called the Arcadia Diaries, Letters to My Younger Self, and it's to give the stories and the background behind my latest single release, Growing Up Was Painful. And if you haven't yet noticed or seen JFK, I've actually put out a new live performance, a dreamy, ambient, stripped back version of my latest release, Growing Up Was Painful. CDs, ancient artifacts. Hell yeah. We're bringing them back, baby. Bringing back the CDs. You know, I'm not sure if you've listened to any of the other live streams, but, you know, the reason why I'm creating 10 collectible CDs is because they are ancient artifacts and no one is really doing this today anymore. And I just feel how important it is to, as artists, to create our physical products and to, like not just rely on streaming, you know, for our releases, to create some collectibles and physical products for people to have, you know, and for people to enjoy, and to also leave a little historical record in the world that this music and this album existed if everything goes to shit online. But yeah, it's like I just, for myself, realized like how much I was relying on streaming to consume my music. And I was like, you know what, like I'm sick of hearing ads. I don't want to pay for another subscription because I already pay for too many subscriptions. Why don't I just go back to buying the music that I love and go back to the old days where I buy the CDs, I buy the tapes, I buy the album, and I can listen to it however many times I want to listen to it. And I don't have to get interrupted by ads, and I don't have to pay a subscription. And I think we, as artists, if we want, those who enjoy our art to come direct to us, why not offer them something that they can, benefit from in terms of our products, our art, our releases. So yeah, CDs are happening today, and we're having chats about the audio series.
And I'm pleased to know that you still at least have one device at home that still uses a CD.
Yes.
So that's good. Yes. Yes. So let us know if you want one of these boxes.
Oh yeah. So JFK, I'm giving away these CD boxes. There's these CDs collectible boxes, which will have the CD in them, a few extra goodies.
There's more colors than this, but these are just sample ones.
Yeah, we've got like a nice black and graphite grey one left. So, I've got 2 left, and I'm giving them away freely with the option to donate. And I'm happy to send them to anyone, anywhere in the world.
Including Jamaica.
So what are you saying? We'll own nothing and rent everything was a corporation's intent. Just look at what PlayStation is planning.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true, JFK. That's why, that's why it's so important to make these and stop paying for a subscription of music you don't own. Own the music. We need to own the music that we love, because I remember growing up how much I loved getting a new CD, opening up the booklet, immersing myself in all the lyrics and
and the
pictures and learning about the artist and listening to the songs on the album that weren't the hits as well. Really growing to love every song on the album, even if it wasn't a number 1 hit. So here we are making 10 collectible CD boxes, and eight have already been snapped up, and I've just got 2 left. All right.
Perfect. Okay, shall I ask the next question?
Yes, go for it.
Well, actually, the second question you answered kind of differently, but that's good.
All right, before you ask the next question, can I just focus to try and write the limited edition on this one?
All right, focus.
Oh my gosh. Let's make sure that it's working. I love that color.
That's totally an answer you would say.
What?
Getting a new CD. I'm from getting a new cassette era.
Well, look, so am I, JFK. So am I, Absolutely. My first album I ever bought was a tape.
Oh, do you remember who?
Yes. It was Gloria Estefan. Okay. It was her album Cuts Both Ways, and I'm proud of that. Fucking love that album. All right.
Focus. Okay.
I got to write this. Feel free to have some yarns with JFK.
Oh, yes. Can I ask a question now?
Can you put the light here on this for me? Because it's a bit dark.
Co-hosting and assistant.
Yeah, can't see. I can see, but it's a little bit blurry.
Here you go.
Okay. I'm nervous. Okay.
She's nervous. Jay, tell me, do you remember the first CD or cassette or album, single that you purchased? Yep, just got promoted to assistant. I sure did. Because I didn't officially ever get a CD or a cassette or anything really, because we didn't really have music in the house much. But we did get a Delta Goodrum album when it first came out, and it was a shared one between me and my sister. Unfortunately, it was a CD because there was no, like, there was cassettes still from us as well, but they were, like, it was a new thing. CDs just came out when I was still, like, starting to get into music.
Can I just say,
Yeah.
Success.
Yay.
We had written on the first CD booklet, limited edition number 1 and Love Ella.
Yay.
I wonder if you can.
It's too blurry.
It's too blurry. But that's okay. You'll see it in good time, my pretties.
But Jay, yeah, what was your first CD or first cassette, first album, first single that you ever got?
He's on a delay, so he'll catch up.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's go with the next question.
All right.
Because the stream is always delayed, you know what I mean?
Yep. Okay, so in your audio series, you say, "You had friends and now I'm the stranger." That's a quote.
Yep.
And I wanted to ask for you to explain your observations at school and your feelings.
Yeah, well, I mean, growing up in the same primary school for all my childhood, you know, everyone knew me. I had lots of friends. And, you know, that was the complete opposite when I went to Perth, because I was starting a new high school. I knew nobody, and I'm feeling already this shift of instability. And, you know, I feel like I don't fit in, you know, I am really struggling. And I go to this new school, obviously, and of course it's always awkward starting a new school. Like, I know nobody. So, and it actually took me a long time to make friends and like find my circle of friends that, you know, that I could feel a part of, you know. So it was very different. And growing up in Kununurra, there was a mix of friends, of white, Aboriginal, you know, like all sorts. In Perth, like, because I sort of wasn't recognized as being Aboriginal, you know, my new circle of friends were all, you know, white fellas, which wasn't an issue. I love all my friends, you know, but I'm just saying that's the difference. That's the contrast, you know, like of like just growing up, you know, in a new school, not really fitting in there, and be getting picked on as well, you know. Like, I never really got picked on in my primary school years. I mean, there was a little bit here and there, but yeah, when I think everything is just so heightened also when you're going through puberty, and when you know, like, you're going through all these different changes, like, and you feel like, yeah, you just feel like you're like, I don't know, it's very hard to put into words. I don't know, but like, yeah.
But would you say it was different to, say, anyone that transitions from primary school to high school at a different location? Or do you feel like it was very different in the sense because now you're not just moving from primary school to high school, but and everyone's different, but they're like, there's a big cultural shift compared to, because you can still feel out of place going from primary school to high school, even if you were in the same location, let alone going from primary school to high school in a location that culturally everyone's different, everyone speaks differently, everyone sees things differently. Like, yeah.
No, I think, like, had I stayed in Kununurra, I would not have been feeling any of those things.
Gotcha.
So in a way, like, basically what moving to Perth did was just bring up so many emotions that I never knew existed before. So it was an upheaval of everything familiar of what I knew to something completely new and familiar. And like I said in the first episode, it was a displacement that I didn't recognize at the time, you know, a ripping away from familiarity, my family, my culture, and into this new world. And I don't think I would have had any of these emotions come up had I stayed in Kununurra, because I was already, you know, like there was nothing being challenged there.
Yeah.
Moving to Perth is now bringing up self-worth issues, loneliness issues, you know, feelings of disconnection, like feelings of not fitting in or belonging, which I'd never had before.
Gotcha.
So it was bringing up a lot of
displacement kind of feeling.
Displacement kind of feelings and emotions, new emotions. And I believe if I had stayed in Kununurra, things just would have been like a completely different like pathway, you know?
Yeah.
Like I think the outcomes, I just think like had I stayed in Kununurra, like I think my life would have gone down a completely different road to Perth, you know?
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
does that answer the question?
Yeah, it does.
Cool.
It does. And before we go to the next question, do you want to read what Jay replied to in terms of his first cassette?
It was most likely a mixed cassette of Bounty Killer and Beanie Man. Post-stroke kinda took many of my memories. Oh, sorry to hear that you had a stroke. And I have absolutely no idea of who those people or artists are. Shame on me, but I don't know. But cool.
Shame on me completely in a way, because I don't know artists even in the mainstream, so that's embarrassing.
That's all good. That's normal for you.
Yeah, no. I'm there going, another artist I don't know. But yeah, I'd love to know what kind of style they do. Like, is it like, are they known in Jamaica really well, or is it like known all over the world and it's just that we're so south in Australia that we don't know them at all? You know what I mean?
Yeah, cool. Starting high school was weird as I was part of groups of kids who were displaced.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
That's interesting, yeah.
Cool.
Because I'd love to know if Jamaica has kind of displacement issues like that because of the like colonization and stuff like that. So I'd love to know a bit more on that, Jay. Cool. And then I'll ask the next question. You said you hide yourself by being careful and quiet and observant, read the rooms and swallow your feelings before they were visible.
Mm-hmm.
Why and what kind of things happened?
Well, I guess you're going to discover that in episode 3.
Oh.
Because
boom, boom. Boom, boom.
Let's just say that
it's a breadcrumb.
I became like that because of certain things that were being projected at me in the household that, I just became very, very small. I made myself small. I made myself quiet, and I made myself invisible. I just started to stay in my room a lot, and I also didn't have a lot of friends in the beginning. But then when I started to make friends, I would go out and just try to spend as much time outside of the home as I could. But I just ended up making myself small, quiet and observant because of certain experiences I went through, which will all be revealed in episode 3.
Okay. I'll wait. Dang, I thought that was a good question too. Okay.
Yeah, well, let's just say lots of experience because, we talked about this, a bit of this in the previous, that, before the age of 5, you also, like I've also mentioned that before the age of 5, I witnessed a lot of violence, drug and alcohol abuse. You know, I saw and experienced things that no 5-year-old should ever see and experience. So I've already got this kind of like, you know, trauma inside of me that I don't really know about.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah, basically, when I moved to Perth and certain things started happening, that sort of like triggered me into a lot of fear. A lot of fear, you know. So I wanted to make myself small and invisible so that I wouldn't attract those experiences to me, you know. So I just shut down in my heart, shut down in my soul, you know. I just sort of like really checked out on another level, you know.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. Okay. And I have one more question, but before that, do you want to continue the dialogue over there?
It's okay. We can go to the next question.
And then the dialogue? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And then the last question is searching for the feeling of love again. Because that's a quote, I think, because it was saying about safety, connection, emptiness. And I just wanted to know a little bit about like what made you feel in the cul-de-sac.
So what I meant by that was like all of these kind of like experiences, being displaced from my family, being in this new area where I didn't fit in or belong, you know, feeling like I wasn't really welcome, and I had to really make myself small and invisible, you know. I guess when you're going through all of those experiences and you've already been through so much experience as a child, you've already got these holes of emptiness inside of you, you know, these holes of emptiness of like feeling very alone and feeling like you don't know where you fit in or belong in the world. So what was the line that I said?
Searching for the feeling of love again.
Yes. So then you start to, I guess, you start to search for this feeling of love, but unfortunately what happens is you start searching for it in all the wrong places. You know, you get caught up in, I started, you know, that's when my journey with substance abuse started at a very young age, you know, smoking pot, starting to rebel and, you know, search for like a fulfillment in like these very toxic behaviors, you know. So my addictions to substances started in that place. You know, I had friends growing up, and, you know, while I love my friends and I still am friends with some of them today, most of my friendships felt pretty empty, you know, because even though you're hanging out with friends, you know, at that age, there's no real connection going on, you know, where you're just sort of like in these interactions at a very surfacey level. And I was always a very deep soul, you know, wanted to have deep, like I had these deep feelings, and I was always a very deep soul. And so you end up, you know, at that age in friendships at a very surface level. And it just, you know, I just remember, although had friends eventually, just still feeling very alone, surrounded by people I knew, you know. So my sense of connection became substances, you know. I had lost my connection with my family in Kununurra. I didn't feel really connected in my new home to my mum or my stepfather anymore. And I also didn't feel really much of a connection with my friends, even though I was surrounded by friends eventually. So my sense of connection came from substances, you know, and from like being in my own world with substance abuse. And so I guess I was searching for this love, for this sense of belonging, but obviously in all the wrong places.
Yeah,
I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, totally makes sense. Yeah, because because I was just thinking about like, you know, because you're also saying like you wanted connection ticked, right? You were substituting the emptiness with substance. What about safety? Safety, like, did you turn to substances because you didn't feel safe, and so then you could avoid the feeling of not being safe?
No, I turned to substances because it made me feel good, made me feel something, made me feel happy. You know, I say happy in quotation marks because it's not a real lasting happiness. It's not like a real happiness that comes from you inside. It's a happiness that comes from an external like source. Yep. So it wasn't real happiness, you know. So substances gave me that sense of feeling happy when I was absolutely completely miserable, you know, in the first throughout my whole teenage years. Like I was absolutely miserable. So substances gave me that sense of connection and happiness and fulfillment that I wasn't getting in my relationships at all. Not at home, not at school, you know. Things started to break down in my relationships, even with my family that I grew up in. Because if you remember in, you know, episode 1, I spoke about leaving a family and a place that also damaged me, you know. Yeah. And so what I'm going to talk about now is, you know, a sensitive topic. So I understand JFK if you want to check out of this or not, but going to be revealing, you know, just a bit more about the specifics of that episode and then sort of like how it's connected to what's going on now in this second episode. But I mentioned in the first episode that, like, you know, I grew up in this Christian household, but yet I was also being sexually abused as a child. So when that came out, when I was in Perth in my like first or second year of being in Perth, when my mum found out, you know, through my writings in my journal at that time that my cousin had been abusing me. And then when she spoke to our family that I grew up with in Kununurra, it was all kind of swept underneath the rug. So again, like I'm feeling this loss of connection, this displacement, this like not feeling connected at all to my mum and my stepdad, because my mum just wanted to, you know, she was just controlling and things like that. So when all of this came out into the open about my abuse with my family that I grew up with, that I really loved, and they wanted to sweep it under the carpet, that was another layer of heartbreak for me in my heart, because the family that was supposed to protect me, and, you know, it felt like they absolutely didn't care about what happened to me. I felt like I was nothing to them, in essence. So it's just like a breaking down of all this, like the fantasy, you know, like the fantasy of family. And it was just one after the other of like things that were going on in my external world that was slowly breaking me down to feeling like I was nothing in this world. I mattered to nobody, you know. That's what I was feeling at the time, at that age, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it was when this all came out and my family found out, like, to me, that was, I guess, for the first time, me realizing, like, that, wow, this family that I grew up with doesn't actually really care about me. You know what I mean? Like when you realize that for the first time as a young child, it's like, who do you have after that? Like the people you grew up with the closest, who do you have? And I had no one, like in the sense of like being in this new city, the only one person that I did have that did help me to a certain degree was my neighbor, you know? So I found more so safety in her, actually, not the drugs.
Yeah.
So she came into my life and I started babysitting her children, and she in a way kind of like became a mentor to me, you know. She in a way was the mother in my life that I didn't have at home, you know. And she was the one that, you know, helped me to, well, she would say things to me that I now really value, you know, like how much I was loved and how much I mattered, and, you know, that if I had a dream that I could go and achieve that dream, you know. So she was saying things like that to me that at the time I was like, oh my gosh, I've never heard anyone speak to me this way, and I don't even know how to respond, but it was new to me, you know.
Yeah.
So I actually found a lot of safety in her, and when things would get hard at home, I would go over to her house quite a lot, you know, and hang out with her and just be there and be around her because I just wasn't happy at home.
That's amazing, babe. That's a really good answer.
Yeah, so.
Wow, that's a good.
What's going on, Bob?
Nothing, Bob. Nothing. That was my last question.
That was your last question.
And you smashed it out of the park with that, and then also sharing that vulnerable stuff about your childhood, which is gutsy to do, especially on a live.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And
so, yes.
I didn't expect you to go to that, so that was like.
Yeah. Well, I alluded to it in episode 1 where I actually say, you know, where I actually say that I was sexually abused at home, you know, that I was like, you know, certain that I went through these experiences as a child, you know, and it's all connected, you know, like it all sort of like came to the surface when I moved to Perth. I was watching, well, you know, when the news is on and there was something on the news about sexual abuse. Yeah. And prior to that, I hadn't thought about what happened to me as sexual abuse. Yeah. And when I heard that, you know, when like you have this dread inside of you. Yeah. Like when I heard that, I just had this dread inside of me that came over me, and a sadness and a shame, and it's like, whoa, is that what happened to me? You know? Yeah. And it just, again, it sunk my whole soul, you know? Wow. It was a sinking feeling, this dread. And so, yeah, it was just so many things going on in Perth when I moved there, of like awakening to the sexual abuse that happened to me, because I never saw it as that before, you know, losing, feeling displaced and missing my family, while at the same time them actually, you know, showing to me they didn't care, and things going on in the household with my mum and my stepdad, you know, and just all of these things just making me feel like absolute shit inside, like I was absolutely worth nothing, you know. So it was a lot a lot of emotions going on as a young person that obviously I wasn't processing because I didn't know how to. Yeah. But a lot of emotions going on, and with no outlet, you know. Yeah. I didn't know how to cry, feel, process anger, nothing. So you're just stuck with all these feelings inside of you that you're not feeling. And of course you end up with depression. Yeah. You know, like a numbness, like of. Yeah. Yeah. So. Yeah. Shall we see what JFK has been saying? Yes. So he says.
It's up to the first one. The last one where we did was starting high school was weird. That's the last one we did.
Oh no, I think the last one we did was yeah, that was the last one. Yeah. That's okay. We'll go to his comment on, I'll hold back my thoughts while listening. Don't think I could even form an opinion on that stuff without getting very angry for reasons. Christianity and being Jamaican has baggage. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, Christianity for sure. Hey, like Christianity, yes. I grew up in a Christian home. I became a Mormon when I was 19. I don't go to church anymore. I don't consider myself a Christian of the religious sense. I do believe in God and have my own personal journey with God, but that's completely outside of religion and all of that stuff, because I think Christianity has a lot of has been really confusing. I'm not going to be like, Christianity for me has been absolutely confusing, and has actually been very harmful to me and my worth, and it's been harmful to my connection with God, actually, religious dogma and doctrine. So Christianity definitely comes with a lot of baggage.
Yeah, for me, I think like there's some beautiful things in Christianity, and there's some, I feel, erred things in Christianity that doesn't really get talked about or addressed. But I wouldn't know what it's like to be Christian in Jamaica at all. But I guess here it's very different, isn't it? Because it's kind of like 50% of people are kind of like believe in God in some way, whether it's Christian or other stuff. And then you got the other people who just don't believe in God at all, really, here in Australia, I would say. So it's a bit of a mixture here, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
But
definitely we don't have, we have Christianity here, but nowhere near as big as somewhere like, say, America.
Yeah.
So we have a bit of a mixture here, that's for sure. There's a bit more openness to spirituality outside of religion here in Australia, whereas I feel like America is, very, very traditional to the book, literally, Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Anything else you want to have a chat about?
Well, you answered all my questions. It's kind of like now a free-for-all. So if Jay has any questions to ask you, feel free to write your questions in there. She'll be doing her little booklet signature things that she's doing.
Just trying to put these together. Did you want to help with putting some of them together into the cases?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
And then
so we've got that. And I just got to make sure here, is this dry? I don't know, but just make sure.
I'm trying to figure out how to open this.
Oh, okay.
Wait. No, I think it's this way. Oh, yeah, figured it out.
It's been so long since you opened a CD case.
Oh, goodness me.
So, but I guess to sum up.
To be honest, though, wait, you asked me about my CD cases. I rarely open CD cases because whenever we had CDs and stuff like that, my sister controlled everything. Couldn't even put a CD into the stereo. She had to be there. She's doing everything. So, yes. She has OCD like that.
Totally. And you got to put the back one in there.
Oh, make me nervous. That's a hard one. Okay.
So I think just fold these as well first before you put them in there.
All right.
Check it out. I was going to say, how'd Ella even manage to maintain music life and a relationship? I assume the co-host is your partner, or am I wrong? Yes, Nicky is my partner. I said that before. Nicky is my partner, and we've been together for 9 years. So how do I maintain music life and a relationship? That's really easy because we share the same passions. Nikki's a creative as well, and she's a writer-director. She loves music as well. She loves shooting my videos for me when I need them. We do a lot of our passions together as well. So Nicky understands that when I've got to work, I'm here in my studio.
I don't open the door. I don't annoy her, but I make sure food is ready because she will be in here for up to 10 hours without taking a breath.
In the beginning of our relationship, whenever I'd come to do music, Nicky would come to the door and be asking me all sorts of questions or interrupting me. And sometimes she would be like really kind of like upset that I'm spending time working on my passions, you know. But we had that conversation very early on in our relationship where I was like, yeah, where I just, you know, I just laid it all out. Like I was like, you know, I need to be able to spend time, you know, doing my passions and things like that. And, you know, you coming to the door and feeling all,
when can we hang out?
yeah, when can we hang out type vibe is, you know, you're projecting a lot onto me, a lot of neediness.
Then I had to go away, work on some of that stuff because I'm like, why do I need her all the time? Like, you know, and then I was like, okay. It's because of my childhood and, you know, no one ever wanted to be around me and stuff like that. And then once I kind of worked on that and it didn't matter. She can be in here for as long as she wants and I'm going to go do my thing for a bit. And then when she's ready, we're going to go and then we're going to make sure we do like little outings together. We do projects together. So, yeah.
Yeah. So don't worry. The conversations was had with Nicky early on in the relationship about neediness, about, you know, being self-responsible for our feelings and not projecting that onto the other person, that we have to, you know, like that we just made sure that we didn't establish a relationship based on neediness or barter or pandering to each other, you know, like when I need my space, I need my space, and I just let Nicky know, and she understands that. And when I need to be working in my studio, she now understands that. She no longer projects that neediness onto me to be able to hang out with her 24/7 every single minute of the day. So I've just, you know, you got to set clear boundaries in relationships, clear boundaries, and have an open, honest communication, you know, with each other about what we like, what we don't like, and what we will tolerate, what we won't tolerate. And once you do that, you know, that person might have emotions to work on because they might feel like hurt, like you don't, you know, they might see like you spending time in the studio as like you not wanting to spend time with them or be with them. But yeah, like.
But I also think it's important, like if they needing you to be there all the time and they're like, oh, you're never around or this and that. Well, I would be like suggesting that they, you know, grow a relationship with God because, you know, God can help you through everything. So like if you're feeling alone or, you know, stuff like that, then, you know, chatting with God and finding out why, because, you know, God's not like, you're actually not alone. Ever. So if you're feeling alone, there's a reason, you know?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, we've always just like tried to engage our relationship with each other in a loving, open, honest way. And we've always attempted to encourage each other to work through whatever feelings that might come up in the relationship, whether that's feelings of hurt, annoyance or anger. We always each encourage each other to go away and feel those feelings and discover the reasons why we feel the way that we feel, because it's often not related to our relationship, but it's often related to our childhood and how either our mother or our father treated us, and perhaps the addictions that they formed with us in childhood that we're trying to bring into the relationship, you know, the addictions to do with neediness or not feeling alone or, you know, needing to have the other person fulfill some kind of need in that person. So we've just attempted to create a relationship where we're not trying to make each other feel better and we're not trying to fulfill each other's holes inside, because we have the understanding that that's our responsibility to heal. It's not the other person's responsibility to make me feel better. Yeah. So if I'm feeling hurt because Nicky doesn't want to hang out with me or vice versa, then it's not her responsibility to make me feel better because I'm hurt. That's something I need to work through, you know. So we just try to take responsibility for our own shit and baggage in the relationship that comes up. And sometimes we do it in a tantrumy way where we don't really want to do it. and we're like
Yep.
resisting it and fighting it, and we really want to make that other person responsible for our pain and hurt right now. But when we get into that place, you know, we often can work through it and get to a point of going, well, like I really feel like it's this going on for you, you know, and this is where this is coming up for me. And, you know, we try to work on those individual problems that are already inside of our soul, already exist inside of our soul, you know, like the baggage we bring into relationships is really, you know, baggage we've always had. But we always try to make that other person responsible for them, for the baggage. And it's not that other person's responsibility to fix the baggage that we bring. So we're very mindful of our own baggage, you know. We're very mindful of our own baggage and where it comes from and what we need to do to feel through it and heal it so that we can, you know, have harmony in the relationship, so that it removes the expectations, demands, and addictions that we place on each other.
Totally, yep.
When you take care of your own baggage, because that's the biggest, I feel, issue in relationships is the demands, expectations that we place on each other in the relationship. And if you can remove those demands and expectations, you can have generally a very, very loving relationship. It's not going to be a perfect relationship, but it's going to be a healthy relationship for you to be able to grow in, you know?
Yeah, because like I always catch myself, if I'm getting angry, I go, before I say anything, do anything, I go, okay, why am I angry and what am I expecting? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why am I angry and what am I expecting in this moment that's making me angry? Oh, this person should have done this or that, and I go, okay, but why? Why did they have to do that? Did they really have to do it? I just wanted them to do it. Okay, why did I want them to do it?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
what feeling was it going to give me if they did that thing for me? You know, sometimes for you it's been, you'll feel like you're equal and there's equality, you know, like that's a big one that comes up for you.
Yeah, equality is a big one.
You feel like, I've got some justice. If for that thing to have happened, I've now have justice, you know,
Exactly.
like I feel like, yes, I can go on in my life because there's been some justice or some fairness or some equality or some safety.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, I must admit, I think I can be quite stubborn. Hey, babe.
Yeah, you can be stubborn.
Yeah, I can be stubborn, and I need to take a leaf out of your book in the sense I need to do what you do more often and say, why am I angry and why do I need this thing to happen? You know, like, isn't what was the two questions that you had? That you asked?
So why am I, what am I expecting and why am I expecting it?
Oh, yeah. I need to do that more often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the first thing. As soon as I'm annoyed or something's just gotten under my skin a little bit, you know, and I go, oh, why? Why did I want her to do this one thing and she didn't do it? And why am I annoyed about it now?
Yeah. And sometimes, look, it could be because I've been unloving and I've been inconsiderate, you know. And that's the tricky part, is knowing when you've been unloving, you've been inconsiderate versus, oh, that was just a demand you had on me.
Yeah.
I don't actually need to do that thing,
Yep.
you know. So,
But it's all about practice and being open to it and trying to have a discussion without, you know. And if we can't have a discussion, we just go to each corner and kind of like feel about it so we can stay, you know, calm and loving to each other instead of like, because if we just start yelling at each other, you're not gonna get anywhere. So
yeah, it's not
it's
gonna
not gonna work.
be healthy. Yeah. So yeah, balancing the passions, you know, with having a partner is, I feel like it started out a bit rocky, but eventually over time, when you are consistent, and I've been consistent, when I've just been consistent with I'm doing what I'm doing, and you know, because in the beginning I would feel bad that Nicky feels like I don't want to spend time with her, so I would in a way sometimes in the very, very, very beginning, I would like kind of pander to you.
It's been such a long time.
And then now, like, eventually it got to the point of like, yeah, I'm just not going to pander to that anymore. Like, you know, I think I eventually said to you one day, babe, I feel like you don't want me to do my passions. I just feel like you just want me to spend 24/7. You don't actually want me to have passions, desires. You don't, you know. Yeah. I just said it out, like straight out, you know, and then that was that little seed of truth woke her up. Goes, yeah. Because I was like, I notice every time I come to do this, you're at the door going, oh, you don't want to spend time with me.
Basically a puppy dog. And then when you tell the puppy dog, you can't film me, no guilt trip me, and then that puppy's like, oh yeah, that's what I'm doing. Okay. Yeah, stuff that. Let's go play with the ball. Woohoo!
Yeah, exactly. So just eventually, like, you learn as I just learned as we went in the relationship. When in the beginning I wasn't clocking when like I was really like pandering and stuff like that. And then eventually I was like, yeah, no, stuff this. I'm going to be doing my passions. And she's, you know, it's not I would just like, I also
and
said
honestly,
to you,
it inspired me to do my passions.
Yeah. And I was like, it's not even like, no, it's not a sign that I don't want to spend time with you. Okay. No, that's not even the truth. So yeah. I'm up to limited edition 09.
Wow, 09. 2 more to go then. Or one after that one, hey?
Yep, one more to go now.
Crazy. Okay, what else?
I love that. Resistance is futile. Can't resist. That's hilarious. It totally is futile, you know, because, yeah, it like resistance is such a major block for any type of growth, you know, like it's one of the biggest blocks to our growth and to learning and to discovering and to exploring and to curiosity and all these beautiful qualities, you know, like if there's resistance, we're going to miss out on a lot. Yeah. Okay, so I've got... Oh, no. Where's the last booklet? Uh-oh. I'm missing a booklet. Oh, no. I think it's in here.
That's number 1.
Oh, that's number 1.
What about that?
Oh, yeah, this broken one. This is it. Oh. My gosh, you're gonna have to get that out of there as well.
Yeah.
Okay, we up to limited edition number 10. Who wants a CD collectible box, guys? I've got 2 more left. Where are we? So limited edition. But yeah, by all means, our relationship is far from perfect and we still have our moments, and all of what we said is the ideal that we aspire to, and sometimes we still fall short and we still have our little tantrums.
We're just humans. We're still growing.
We're babies. Oh, I just signed the 10th limited edition copy of my CD booklet.
Yay.
Oh, goody, goody. I'm wondering if we paint the rims gold and that one gold. I don't know. It's a question I have that will remain unanswered. for a little while longer.
Cool.
All right, I might start putting some of these in here. Cool. So we got...
Can you put them in this one?
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
So I can finish these.
So we got... Wait. Did I just mess that up? Of course I messed it up.
Why?
Oh, I smudged it. Look. I'm going to have to go over that. There was always going to be one that I mess up, okay? Like,
that's going to be the most
one.
valuable now because it's not the same as everything else.
Oh, my goodness. That was silly of me, wasn't it? Okay, I'm just going to put these in.
So, Jay, what type of music do you do?
The stream is delayed.
That's okay. I just want
Yeah, all
I
good.
just want to know.
Yeah. Oh, another thing is as well, I actually bought new CD jewel cases and they're so much more stronger than the old ones that I had. Like you can see this has like cracks in it. I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, anyway, cracks in the CD. These ones feel a lot more stronger. So much more stronger. So I'm really excited to have some better quality cases.
Any music my client demands. So you produce music?
Yep, I guess he does.
But I mean, what's your favorite though?
True.
Like, you produce electronic music, but you grew up loving R&B and
Yeah, I grew up loving all sorts of music.
yeah.
I grew up
Whereas
loving...
I grew up basically listening to musicals only. That's all I could have in the house, really. But and a few little Australian icon singers, which international people don't know at all.
Yeah, I grew up loving R&B, hip-hop, pop, dance music, and also grunge, metal. Like, I love, alternative music from the 90s only.
I need one more.
One more what?
Oh, it's over there. Give me the broken one.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be like, what?
I'm going to fix this. Damn it.
Wow, this is really different to these ones, eh? Is it though?
Love Ella.
Haven't done like opera or rock. Haven't done like opera or rock or EDM anymore. But
yeah.
for me, can you read those?
Yep. We got dancehall, reggae, Afrobeats, trap, and rap. Love it. I love those genres. Yeah. It's so cool.
I always liked reggae as well. I just love it. Love it.
Yeah. The ones for me also happen to be mostly my client base too. So win-win.
Yay for you.
That's awesome, brother. Very cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, so... Yeah, I think, I grew up listening to a lot of different genres and styles, but I started out as a singer-songwriter, a folk singer-songwriter, like playing acoustic guitar, also writing my own songs, that sort of thing. And then I transitioned into producing music, producing beats, producing electronic music. And now I really like fusing it. Like, so a lot of the songs on Soul Arcadia were actually some of the songs, produced with an electric guitar, bringing in that kind of like folk style, but with more of a housey kind of rhythm. So folk style, like lyrics and singing with more of a housey rhythm on the electric guitar. And yeah, just sort of really getting into the nice kind of luscious, like ambient atmospheric textures, bringing that into my production, whether I'm playing electric guitar on a track or I'm producing like, you know, an electronic song or creating an ambient stripped back performance. Like my latest stripped back performance of Growing Up Was Painful. So yeah, I feel like I'm still discovering my sound. You know what I mean? Like I'm still kind of discovering it. And even then, like, I think I'm even still discovering my vocal ability and my timbre and my texture of my vocals and how to use it and all of that.
I think you are really finding your style and your voice. I love it.
Yeah. So I'm slowly starting to find my style with my singing and, you know, getting more comfortable with my vocals and how I'm using them. And yeah, so I feel like I'm still on that journey with my vocals and my sound and all of that. But I think like as you evolve and change, your sound is going to evolve and change. And I don't think you'll ever stick to one like sound for the rest of your existence, you know. I think things are going to change. Like I started out producing and releasing Tropical House, you know, tracks and stuff like that. Now I'm going more into the kind of like, I don't know, deep house, melodic house type, like, you know, songs. So,
which I have no idea what that means.
It's just other genres of music. I won't get into it. Can't be bothered.
But I know Jay knows what you're talking about. That's what's important.
Exactly.
But you know, I love that Jay says Ella's music has always given take a drive with it on repeat vibes.
Oh, thank you, JFK.
And I think that's true in the sense because it's kind of what you said. I used to always ask Ella and I go, so where would this music be played? And you said, I don't know, everywhere, like in the car, dancing.
Oh yeah, I used to say it'd be great for like hikes, being in nature, going on adventures, traveling in a car, that sort of a thing. So yeah, I do feel like my music, you know, is that sort of like go on a drive, you know, in the car to listen to these tunes, like really cool adventure music, travel music, you know. So yeah.
Good spotting. I love that. I love that.
Very, very cool. All right. Well, we are done with putting together these CDs. Check them out. We've got 10 CDs.
Done. Inside and out.
This is exciting. Very, very exciting. So now all I've got to do is burn the CDs. So I'm just going to burn 10 of my albums. Then I've got to print the artwork on each CD, so like this. So that's next up, along with burning the songs, which will be great to finally get all that done. Then obviously testing the CDs to make sure that they're not skipping or have any issues. So yeah, that's where we're up to. Is there anything else that I need to mention before we finish up?
No, that's everything. Like, again, if you want a box, let us know.
Yeah. Go check out the live performance on my YouTube channel. And also, if you want to download my album, you can get it for free on Subvert or leave a donation on your way out. So you can download the digital copy from my Subvert. All the links are in everywhere. My descriptions of my videos, you'll see them. And if you want to go check out my audio series, you can head over to Patreon and sign up. It's for free. Were you going to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's going to be a treasure hunt, you know, in 10 years' time. Can anyone find the Ella CDs to the world somewhere?
Yes. Only 10 of them going out. Exactly. 10 ancient artifacts ready to be thrown out into the world. Exactly. And that's exactly what I was going to do, actually. I was going to, like, create these, like, little kind of, like, physical treasures, and I was going to plant them around the city so that like a random person can just find it one day and be like, oh, what's this? And there's like, a USB stick with my music on it and stuff like that. So yeah, maybe I need to get onto that idea next as well.
Yeah.
And create some physical treasures to like put around the city here in Sydney of like electronics music.
That'd be great.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
I love it.
Cool. Well,
thanks for joining us, Jay.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, JFK. Appreciate it. Love the chats. Thanks for sharing as well. I appreciate you being a long-time supporter of my channel. I know you've been subbed for a few years now, so I appreciate it. You're an OG, an original subscriber. All right, peace out, JFK. Take care. See you later.
And to the people that are going to be watching, see you
next time. Bye. Stop streaming.